Welcome in to this edition of the USL Pro Weekend Preview. My name's Nicholas Murray, very pleased to be joined by Chris Economides. And Chris, some very interesting games on the schedule this weekend, starting on Friday night as Antigua visits Harrisburg. Now Antigua, obviously they've had their struggles, they've had to be on the road for all of this season, but they're getting Melvin James back, it sounds like tonight. It sounds like his injury problems are back. He's going to need to help a defence that's going to be really tested by Harrisburg's attack, which has scored a lot of goals already this season.
Now, on paper, or philosophically speaking, this looks like it may be a bit of a blowout, but Antigua has made strides. The road journey continues with the trek up to Harrisburg and then down on to Richmond on Saturday night. Antigua did play well in the first game on their southern swing at Tampa Bay last Friday, scoring the first goal, being ahead until almost halftime, and then the wheels came off. We'll see what transpires now with the week of rest and practice.
Now, Saturday night, we get a rematch of the USL Pro Championship game from last season as Wilmington visits Charleston. Now, Wilmington's got a big game on Friday night against Rochester. JC Banks coming back for the Rhinos in that game potentially. But it's always nice to see these title rematches and to see what these two teams are going to offer us at Blackboard Stadium.
Well, actually, I'm more curious in the game on Friday with Rochester. It's a couple of teams there that are struggling for a win. That should be a really, really good game also. And then obviously, as you mentioned, the championship rematch on Saturday night in Charleston. When those two teams face off against each other, it's always a battle, because of the proximity of the two cities. I'm sure there'll be a lot of Port City fans traveling down to Charleston. Should be an interesting match. Should
be a very good game. Charleston, it seems like they're getting a little bit healthier. I'm hearing Jose Cuevas may be available for selection for the first time in a little while on Saturday night as well, so that's big for them. Sunday night, we get our second interleague game of the week after the Galaxy and the LA Blues played on Tuesday. Orlando City going out to face the Seattle Sounders reserves. Game won't be available on USL Nation because of streaming issues at Cheney Stadium, but it should be a terrific contest for those of us who are going to tune in to listen to the radio broadcast.
That's probably the most fascinating game of the weekend, to be honest with you. Obviously, Orlando, the cream of the crop so far in USL Pro. Seattle, one of the marquee franchises in MLS. I know they're taking the game very seriously as they're expanding out to other markets within the Seattle region for the game. I expect to see an almost full, if not full, crowd out there. Should be a fascinating match to see how that one comes out.
It'll definitely be interesting to see the off the field there, because we've obviously heard the noise coming out of Seattle that they may be looking into adding a USL Pro team into the league. So how the attendance is at Cheney Stadium, and obviously the performance that both teams put in, will be equally interesting, I think. Well, that's it for this edition of USL Pro Weekend Preview. You can catch all of the games at USL Pro locations on uslnation.com this weekend. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook and Google Plus for news and updates throughout each contest. And we hope you'll join us again on Tuesday as we look back at the previous weekend's action. For Chris, my name's Nicholas. Thanks for joining us.